Okay, part 3. An example of just how good the offspring of the crosses of two good families that everyone knows about occurred some years ago when the best hybrid cocks that ever hit this country were produced by breeding the northern strain of so-called Hats, which were strong, game, and deliberate and could take a lot of steel, to a family of southern chickens called the Clarets, which were fast, high-breaking, and very aggressive. The hybrid cross swept the country, but as breeders started breeding this hybrid to other hybrids, they soon became just another chicken. By bad inbreeding, one can set the bad faults in a strain, but by good selecting and breeding, one can eliminate the bad and intensify the good. Inbreeding is really a two-edged sword. It is necessary and important that the breeder use only one edge. The outcome of an inbreeding plans will give satisfaction or dissatisfaction according to the quality of the fowl used in the breeding team each year. Close inbreeding must never be undertaken unless the breeder is convinced that the bird he is using have qualities he wishes to set in his own strain of fowl. Inbreeding does not create. It does not put anything into a strain. It can only intensify the good or bad genes that are already there. To inbreed with poor birds will lead to an inferior strain, even though the birds bred would all be of one general type because of the effect of inbreeding. Successful inbreeding produces a strain of superior quality and illness, and they are of high quality, not mediocre. Some inbreeders believe that there should be any outcross under any circumstances. And as enthusiastic as I am about inbreeding, I am not entirely convinced that an unrelated bird should never be introduced. In spite of the risk attending an outcrossing, it may become necessary to the inbreeder to try to correct something that he has lost in his own inbreed strain. If you remember my analogy comparing good and bad genes to corn and oats, I said that you should sift out the oats as you do your inbreeding. However, when you throw out the oats, there are a good chance that some corn will go out with the oats. This means that as time goes by, your gene pool is getting smaller and smaller. There is less and less variation in your inbreed line. If you should continue long enough, in theory, your line will become fixated to the point where there is a little or no variation in your fowl. Although fixation is actually highly improbable, nevertheless, you may lose something of value in your line through inbreeding. This is due to the limited numbers of animals you can breed and the fact that a few harmful recessive genes may cover up a lot of very good genes in an animal, which is then eliminated from your breeding program. If your inbreed lines begin to lose some of its good qualities, especially those related to health and strength, you may be forced to outcross. However, one should be very careful and know a lot about the breeding of the fowl selected to be introduced into one line. Many breeders brings in a bird and then breed the offspring back into their own lines until the blood being introduced is cut down to a 1/4 or less. This individual that the breeder select to breed will be the ones that are representative of the best qualities of the strain. Those eliminated are the ones that show the worst features. If you follow this type of breeding, you will eventually carry practically no faults that will affect the performance of the crosses in your fowl to pass to their offspring. Okay. Dito, ang ginawa po dito ni Floyd Garley, Meron po siyang dalawang brood pens o dalawang marami siyang family ng Spangled siguro dito. Siguro yung isang brood pens siguro nananalo yung isang brood pens, yung isang ginawa niya nananalo din. Ngayon ginawa niya yung mga winning line na materyales na same bloodline na ginawa niya, pinagsama niya uli. Kumuha siya ng Battle Pure na winning line, tapos meron pa siyang panlaban na pwede niya ibangga sa ibang manok na nagpo-produce din ng mga nananalo. Ito po sinasabi niya dito. Hindi ho kasi yung breeding ho napakalalim mo nito eh. Alam niyo naman to. Dapat alam niyo to, mathematical computation. To binabasa ko lang dahil pinapaliwanag ko sa inyo kung paano ginagawa na isang magaling na breeders, isa sa pinakilala sa buong mundo, the late Lloyd Garley. Ito ginagawa niya, ang ginagawa nga niya, nag-i-embed siya, nagpupuro siya, tapos naglalabas siya. Ngayon, siniselect niya yung mga nananalo niyang linyada. Meron sa Spangle sa kabila, nakakross sa iba. Yung Spangle niya, nakakross sa ibang family, isang ginawa niya, pero nananalo, binangga niya pinagsama niya yung pero linyada. Tapos kumuha siya ng mga, para makakuha siya ng puro linyada na nananalo, tapos meron pa siya mga pang-battle cross. Ganito ho ginagawa niya. Kasi, yung sinasabi niya sa mga program, yung mga niya, ito ho yun, yung mga record, nire-record niya. Yung mga nananalo, kung yung isang inahin, yung isang inahin nag-anak ng 12, tapos nilaban, tapos dinidebate niya kung ilan yung nanalo, dinidebate niya kung ilan laban, tapos doon yung kukuha yung ratio kung paano niya ginagawa, kung nakukuha niya ng 55% o 65%, yun ang pinasasama niya. Tapos tinitingnan niya, kasi masyado stricto itong matandang to, alam nyo, kasi breeder talaga to, marami siyang manok, 5,000 manok ang manok niya sa farm, yung kanyang nung panahon niya. Kaya ganun o ginagawa niya. Sana naiintindihan niyo itong sinasabi ko. Pwede di kayo mag-breed ng half brother, half sister, o magkapatid sa ama, o magkapatid sa ina, sa father side o mother side. Nasa inyo, kasi kayo ang nakakaalam dahil kayo ang nagpapalahi ng manok. Dito sa librong to, sinasabi lang niya kung paano niya ginawa. Kung paano siya nag-select. Alam niyo to, it takes time. Ito ho sa mga serious breeder, hindi sa kaker. Sa mga serious breeder, itong video to ang tamang-tama sa iyo kung gusto mong lumalim yung kaalaman mo sa pagpapalahi ng manok. Sa breeder po ito. Ito po talaga ang pinakamagandang sasabi ko sa inyo na sundan mo kung gusto mo maging isang kilala o maging sikat na breeder. Ito po kinakailangan. Kasi yung mga video ko dyan, alam niyo naman yung video ko dyan, binabasa ko bago ko ipaliwanag. Dahil masyadong highly technical ito yung mga binabasa ko. Hindi ko kasi pwedeng putulin. Kung papaliwanag ko lang naman ho sa inyo, sino ba naman maniniwala sa akin ko, wala man ako reference sa pinakikita. Hindi ba? Ito, sa totoo lang, yung mga newcomers na breeders na gusto matuto, ito kasi sa mga serious breeders to. Kung seryoso ka sa pagpapalahi, itong video ko ang panoorin mo. Kasi nandito lahat pinapaliwanag dito by the book. Kung ano yung sinasabi. Experience nila to, hindi ito tsamba. Hindi to ilalabas sa buong mundo, hindi totoo. Ito mga librong nasa akin. Napakagaling ito itong mga libro tinuturo ko sa inyo. Hindi naman ako nagbibiro dyan. Talagang by the book ko ito. Spanish nila to. For 50 years. 49 years. Ganun ho yan. Doon naman sa mga baguhan na gustong pumasok sa pagpapalahi, kaya lang, medyo tingnan nyo itong video ko. Makinig kayo maigi, sundan nyo, tapusin nyo. Yun lang ho ang masasabi ko sa inyo. Kasi pag tong mga video nito inunawa mo na inunawa ng malalim, 100% magaling kang breeder. Sisikat ka pa. Saka once na bumili kayo ng isang material sa isang sikat na breeder, hindi ka na bibili kahit kailan. Ikaw na lang ang gumawa ng sarili mong linyada, sarili mong strain. Ikaw ang nakakakita dahil ikaw ang breeder. Di ba? O maraming salamat po. Ito na naman, papaalam na naman po ako sa inyo. Sana marami kayong nakuha tips tungkol sa mga video ko. Tungkol nga pala sa mga aking mga mag-subscribe naman kayo sa akin. Subscribe, comment, bell button. Subscribe lang kayo. Wala namang problema. Papasalamat ako sa mga nanood. Meron na ako 1,200 views ba. Nagugulat ako. Marami-rami na pala ang nakikinig sa akin dito. O sige, maraming salamat sa inyo. Sa ulitin uli, sa susunod na topic, mag-comment lang kayo sa akin. Kung ano yung mga gusto nyo itanong, sasagutin ko. Wala namang problema. Sige, maraming salamat ulit. Thank you for watching.